Hello and welcome to Teenz Time. I am Ijoma Idika Chima. Teenz Time is aimed at enhancing educational and moral values as well as tackling teenage-related issues. And today we will be looking at Nigerian language and culture. Teenagers who pass foreign languages well are recognized, while those who have high scores in indigenous languages are called local. Now, it is a disturbing fact that the society has embraced foreign languages at the expense of our own culture and language. Teenz Time carried out a report on this. Let's take a look at it. One of the problems facing the Nigerian society today is the issue of indigenous languages at the verge of dying, owing to the increased rate of westernization and technological advancements, as well as the second fiddle nature Nigerian languages have assumed.
Would be urbanization, or if you like, call it westernization. Some people believe that we want to teach our children, or we want to be, in quotes, there. And for that reason, they do not teach their children Nigerian language.
Like you rightly pointed out, it's a shared responsibility. You can't really blame society as such, because society is made up of the parents and the teenagers themselves. Parents owe these kids a duty to learn the local languages.
I think that's a complicated question. I think on one hand, there are parents who do not encourage it enough. On the other hand, you can trace it back to the schools. But I think that finding ways of encouraging teenagers to learn their language or to learn local languages is important. Perhaps the structures and the modes we have now are not suited to all the needs.
Most young people, especially teenagers in urban locations, can hardly speak or understand their mother tongue, which poses as a huge challenge to the sustainability of the Nigerian rich cultural norms and values, knowing that language is a vital aspect of culture, and the death of a language means the death of a culture.
When they can't speak the local language, they find it difficult relating with their people, their own people. It alienates them.
You try to stop speaking English at home. Insist that when you speak to them, they must reply in their native language. By the time you do that, somehow you get them to speak, whether they like it or not. Because since they have to just communicate with you, and you have insisted that if they speak English, you won't give an answer, somehow they will get to speak.
I think we should, the only thing we can do is to speak it and to find interesting and creative ways of reviving interest in those languages.
I will advise parents that for those who have whose children are not yet in the teenage age, to please start early. Starting early is the key, so that they will not just only learn how to speak, they will also know the how to pronunciation in that native language too is also very key, right? So I will ask that we start early. But for those who already have found themselves in their children are already teenagers and yet they do not know how to speak the language, I will encourage them to not get tired, keep speaking to them, take them home from time to time, make sure they are in the midst of people who speak the native language.
It is a collective responsibility to sustain our Nigerian languages and cultures. The government, parents, teachers, society, as well as the teenagers all have their roles to play. Language is a critical part of our culture and a powerful instrument for preserving and transmitting values from one generation to another. Well, we've seen the report. Now, to parents, communicate with your local languages at home. To the schools, our languages should be valued and promoted. And to the teenagers, I'll simply say, be proud of the Nigerian language and culture, because I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Well, this is where we'll end this week. Teenz Time continues next week. Over now to Onyedia.